I'm recording this file. You have to listen to this file carefully, reviewing the materials for the final exam. This course is Neural Network Control. All the students, first of all, for the final exam, must enter the system during the final exam. You have to enter the system. Let me change it to English. This will be changed to English. Okay. Once you enter the LMS, you have to go to this course, Neural Control, for your course. Okay. Now, during the final exam would be next Saturday, 10th of it's called day 10th of this month, Iranian month, next Saturday at 11 o'clock. So before 11, about 15 minutes to 11, you should first of all connect to this from Adobe Connect. You have to sign, you have to stay online. So you must be online during the course, during the exam. The exam time would be about 1.5 hours. You will start the exam from 11 to 12:13 Iran time. So the materials we have covered, you see, week 1, lecture 1 we had, then we gave you, we introduced to the book. Week 2 we had chapter 1 introduction, then introduction about neural network, then chapter 2 about learning, different types of learning, then chapter 3 we had single layer perceptron. Then again we gave you homework. You have to submit these homeworks. You would be graded for these homeworks. Then we had chapter 3 about LMS part 1. Then again we covered multi-layer perceptron, and of course before this we covered single layer perceptron. After LMS, single layer perceptron, and then again multi-layer perceptron. You see, this is multi-layer perceptron in 2 parts. Homework 2, you have to submit this homework. Then about fuzzy logic, we gave you some introduction. About fuzzy neural networks, we gave you some introduction. Then the last part, this part again about neural networks controller, and the final part is about RBF. And there is a project assignment, some questions, some homework here. So you have to submit 2 homework and this assignment, so 3 homeworks. You have to go over all these materials for the final exam. In the final exam, of course, we would have questions. We will give you questions about all the materials. Let's start. You see, for example, starting from the first parts, as you would see. First, we had introduction in these files. This is the introduction of the neural networks. Go over all the recorded files there, and you can listen to these. We may give you questions. So I would say this in Farsi as well. امتحان پایان ترم در 10 همین ماه روز شنبه برگزار میشه. شما حتما باید در زمان امتحان پایان ترم از طریق این LMS آنلاین بشید. باید آنلاین باشید، در کلاس حضور داشته باشید. همه شما باید در کلاس حضور داشته باشید و تا پایان امتحان در این حضور داشته باشید. بعد امتحان رو هم همینجا بارگذاری میکنید. یک فایل اینجا باز میشه به اسم فاینال اگزم به شکل تکلیف. همین الان اگر انجامش بدیم ویرایش میکنیم و ما یک فایل رو اینجا بارگذاری میکنیم. So you have to submit your final exam answers as a PDF file in here in the LMS. I would add one final exam assignment, final exam. So you would take the questions from there and again submit from here. So everything would be accepted in the LMS, nothing in the WhatsApp. I don't have WhatsApp. We don't have filters. So you have to give your assignments in the LMS. همه شما باید آنلاین باشید در زمان امتحان. همه شما باید در زمان امتحان تا پایان امتحان آنلاین بمونید. برای تحویل امتحان به صورت یک فایل PDF شما در اینجا باید فایلتون رو وارد کنید، بارگذاری بکنید. باید تمام فایلتون رو در LMS بارگذاری بکنید. مطالبی که گفتم در هستش چپتر 1 Introduction، سوال داریم که توضیحاتی هست در مورد مقدمات شبکه‌های عصبی، تفاوتشون، شباهت‌هاشون. So the difference between artificial neurons and the difference between biological neurons, what are they? You see ANN and bio-ANN. So you have to know the difference between these materials. We will give you questions. So there are questions about this introduction. Then about single layer neural network, of course, we would give you questions and some problems. You have to be able to do some simple calculations like these type of examples. For examples, this is for classification. Neural networks can classify patterns. So these types of patterns that are linearly separable and some types of patterns that are not linearly separable, like XOR. So you have to be able to do this type of problems. We will give you some set of patterns. Within these patterns, you have to design a neural network to classify these patterns and give the answers. So this is one question in the final exam. And then in chapter 2, we will ask you about different types of learnings. Chapter 2 about learnings, different types of learnings. Then we will cover LMS. What is LMS? An add line, single layer perceptron, add line, and questions in this part. So you may have again questions. سوالهای توضیحی در این قسمت به شما داده میشه از ابتدا در رابطه با مقدمه، در رابطه با سینگل لیر پرسپترون، در رابطه با LMS، در رابطه با مولتی لیر پرسپترون. ما سوال بهتون میدیم که سوالهای توضیحی هستن. به این ترتیب مثلا این نمونه سوالها نگاه کنید، پترن های مختلف به شما داده شده و شبکه‌ای که single neural network that can classify these patterns, you have to design these type of examples. This have been uploaded for you. This typical type of calculations that you have to actually be able to do in the final exam. About LMS, what is LMS and add line? You see in this slides and recorded files I gave you, I've explained what is LMS method, least mean square method, and gradient descent, and what is add line. Study about this carefully. There will be definitely questions about these parts. Then we will have questions about multi-layer perceptrons and some calculations about multi-layer perceptrons. What is multi-layer perceptrons? What is backpropagation? How backpropagation works? Overfitting, underfitting. These types of questions you may get in the final exam. Again, we had part 2 of this material about chapter 4. We had part 2, so go carefully read these materials, and definitely you have to be able to answer questions about these materials, about fuzzy neural networks, and about fuzzy, we may give you questions about control. You see, neural network based controller, the کنترل کننده های شبکه های عصبی سوال بهتون داده میشه از این توضیحاتی که در مطالب درسی به شما داده شده. سوال بهتون میدیم. So we definitely give you one question about neural network controllers, and the final part was about, you see, RBF network. What is RBF network? So go over these materials carefully. One more time. You have all the class notes. You have all the class recorded files. Listen to them carefully. And the final exam at 11 o'clock, 15 minutes to 11 o'clock, you should be connected to the system. You have to be connected here. You have to enter the room. Stay online during the exam. And I will give you questions and I will give you problems. You have to do everything in 1.5 hours. By 1.5 hours, it means 12:30, the system will be locked. So you are not able to upload the files. دوستانی که فارسی میدونن، دوستانی که فارسی میفهمن، در واقع شما تا ساعت 12:30 وقت دارید که فایلتون رو بارگذاری کنید. بعد از 12:30 دیگه سیستم قفل میشه و دیگه نمیتونید فایلی رو بارگذاری بکنید. Good luck to you all. I will be contact with you in the final exam. انشالله که موفق باشید و در امتحان پایان ترم بتونید خوب پاسخ بدید.